Hey guys, this is the Ontario Gardener coming to you live from my rental home. Again, if you've watched my intro video, you know I haven't moved yet. My move date is coming up in April, 3 weeks from today. So if you check your calendar, you'll be able to figure out that is the 6th of April. But anyway, this is my first official video, and I want you to know that I got a package in the mail the other day. If you can see, I don't know what I want you to see on it, but basically here, let's look at the side. And it's from Vessie's. I wanted to hide my address and everything. Not that it really matters, but from Vessie's. And if anybody that knows that lives in Canada and orders seeds, or possibly even that lives in the United States and orders seeds, you know, Vessie's, I guess that's how you say it here, Veseys. There's it's Vessie's, Veseys.com. .com. It's not .ca. And this is the growing guide that comes with every shipment of plants. Sorry about the glare back here. Oh, and there's a cat up there who really isn't supposed to be there. Hold on. Hey, get off. Come on. Alright, back to our regularly scheduled program. But anyway, the reason why I'm showing you this is that with every purchase, you get the Vessie's growing guide. This glare is really going to annoy me, so hopefully we can work with that. So, nevertheless, let me show you what I recently got in the mail. These are Neptune brand pelleted carrot seed. If you look at the count, it says 10,000. That's a lot. However, as any gardener knows, that germination rate for anything is not 100%. In my opinion, the smaller the seed, the less the germination rate. Whether that's entirely true or not, who knows? But that's my thought. The bigger the seed, to me, it seems, oh, well, it should last, you know, it should be able to survive. So anyway, that's my pelleted. And pelleted, the reason why I got pelleted carrot seed is if you feel it, well, you can't feel it, but when I start planting these, I'll show you guys more in depth. But the seeds, they have, there's my cat again screwing around. Pelleted carrot seeds, anything that's pelleted puts a coating on the seed to make them bigger. It's a biodegradable, dissolvable, whatever you want to call it, coating that basically makes it easier to plant and makes thinning less. If you can put 2 seeds or 3 seeds where 4 or 5 would normally be, you only have to thin out 1 instead of like 2 or 3. So it does cut down on the thinning. So that's 10,000 seeds. Alright, and here I won't take it out of the package. This is pumpkin collection. And if you read it, it says Baby Pam, Baby Jack, and New Rocket. Again, I'll show you, there's 3 packages in here. This is the mix that you get in a collection. Basically, the Baby Pam are smaller, maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 to 2 pound pumpkins that are good for cooking and baking, making pumpkin pie, pumpkin puree, making pumpkin soup, any type of thing that you cook with pumpkin. You know, that's a good brand. That's a good, you know, type to go with, good variety. The Baby Jack mix, those are smaller pumpkins. They almost look like gourds in a sense, but they are, you know, gourds and pumpkins are the same type of family. You know, the vining. I'm not sure exactly what you want to call it, the family, but I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm not too keen on vegetable families yet. Unlike that I am with shrubs and plants. But basically they're small pumpkins, somewhat decorative, and they have a nice colored mix. The New Rocket, which is the last of the pumpkin collection. Kitty, hold on a minute. Stop it. She likes to investigate and annoy me sometimes, but it's okay. So anyway, the New Rocket brand, those are your more traditional pumpkins. They're maybe 8 to 10 pounds. They're not huge. They're small. You know, they're not big. They're, you know, maybe something like this, maybe like a bowling ball size, which isn't huge, but it's still, you know, fairly decent size. All right, now we get in. So that's a package of each of those. The seed count varies probably from maybe 10 to 30 seeds per package. The way Vessie's does it is you can buy by the you know, a weight, or buy a package, or buy, you know, number of seeds. Different varieties offer different things. Here, these are my Gold Rush Early Yellow Wax Beans. Let's see, I'm going to do it that way. Wax beans. If you look at the count, it says 2,000 seeds. Obviously, any gardener, anybody that knows growing, along with any type of seed, you know, just because there's one seed doesn't mean you'll get one bean, right? One seed can produce a plant that could have dozens and 10, 20, 30 bean pods per plant. So you look at 2,000 seeds, if you get even 50% germination rate, that's 1,000 seeds, 1,000 plants, and you think 1,000 plants, that's a lot, but then you double that to 10 to 15 to 20 per year, looking at 10 to 20,000 beans per bag. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the whole bag. This is just the amount I ordered for the row that I'm thinking of making. I will get into that later when I talk about my garden design, because I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. It'll depend on the land and what areas I can get in the garden, which I will show you in another video coming up probably in a few weeks. This is my Gold Rush yellow. They're bush bean. This is a bush bean. Yellow. I couldn't find a variety that was a pole bean that was yellow, so I didn't get one. Now here, these are my stringless Blue Lake early green beans. These are your normal, when you think of string beans, or my group call them string beans, green beans, what have you. Pole beans are bigger, they're longer than bush beans, but they are more abundant per plant. They're climbers, so you need to have a trellis, which I'll get into that again in a later video, with crop netting, T-posts, some nylon rope, cable ties, etc., etc. That's more of a how-to video when I get to that. So they're pole beans. These are 500 seeds, but if you look, I have 500, 1,000, 1,500, and 2,000. And the reason why I didn't get 2,000 seeds like the Gold Rush beans, because they don't offer 2,000 seeds. If they would have, I would have bought it to save a little bit of money. But doing it this way, I at least have them in packages, so if I don't use a whole package, or if I only use 3, this one's still sealed up, it's airtight sealed, and it'll last me until the next season. And again, real quick, you may be looking and saying, well, why are they colored? Well, the ones that I've ordered have been treated. These have been treated with metalax, streptococtamine, Captain something or other, and basically all it does is it's a preventative for whatever the disease, insect or disease that normally gets to the bean plant, whether it be before the seed actually starts growing. That's mainly what they're for. I don't believe they really have any type of fertilizer chemical to them, but it's mainly for a pesticide, but it's a treated pesticide that's on there already, so I won't be adding pesticide. It's on the plant already. Alright, now we get into some of my favorite things, or what I'm looking most forward to growing this year, and that is sweet corn. I have a brand here. This is it's called, what is it called? It's called Fleet. Fleet corn is a early bicolor SE, which is sugary enhanced bicolor corn. Each kernel, this is 125 grams. Roughly 125 grams. You see, again, it doesn't tell you how many seeds, but you could probably figure it out if you would actually count them. But I'd probably say a good couple hundred seeds, give or take. Corn, usually, if the optimal growing conditions, you're looking at 2 nice sized cobs or 2 sized ears per stalk. Again, corn is something that you don't thin out. Well, you can thin it out. But if you plant it, 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches apart when you sow it, you don't have to, you're not wasting seed, and you don't have to thin anything. And again, that'll probably be my method later on. Also, corn here, 125 grams. This is a Welcome brand corn. This is a mid-season. This is a pure yellow, sugary enhanced. And in the SE sugary enhanced, there's SY, there's SE, there's SU, there's just S. It's all about the sugar content and how it reacts once it's picked. Normal brands or normal varieties, you pick it, the sugars that are in the kernel start converting to starch really fast, and it loses its sugary and sweetness. There are other kinds, sugary enhanced, which is what this is. The sugary will actually keep longer and it'll have a sweeter flavor, which is what I like. So that's 2 different kinds, an early in a mid-season. Why I did that? So I can sow them both at the same time. when I'm doing my big garden, maybe do, you know, I'm trying to get a couple 100 feet out of these. Hopefully it'll give it to me. We'll find out. But, you know, you plant everything at the same time, the same variety, you're going to have all the corn ready, you know, virtually at the same time. And if you're selling it, that's okay. But if you're eating it yourself as well, it's not okay. Because what are you going to do with, you know, 400 ears of corn? Nothing. You're gonna, you know, you can't eat all of it in that amount of time. And corn is something, especially sweet corn, something that you can't, that you really not good to freeze. I've found that freezing sweet corn doesn't really, you know, do it for me. All right, let's keep on going. Now here, this is something that I've never tried growing myself before. These are super sugar snap peas. Again, they require trellis, crop netting, you know, poles, something like that, which I will get into in a later video. Again, these are treated seeds just like the corn and the other two types of beans. This is a 500 gram. See, it's hard to see, but there is hundreds of seeds in here. Again, peas are like beans, especially runners or climbers, as well as bush beans, bush peas. You can get bush peas. You can get, you know, purple hull peas. You can get hull peas that you actually shell and you just eat the hull inside, the seed or the bean or the pea bean or whatever you want to call it inside. But these are snap peas, sugar snap peas, which you eat the pod as well. You pick it when the pod is nice and tender before the seeds inside get a chance to mature and have a real nice flavor. I'm not a huge fan of peas, but they do have a nice sweet flavor to them. So hopefully these will be very abundant for me. All right, now we get into the packages, which these are, you know, I ordered basically a package of each of all these things because they're things that I want to try. Oh, excuse me, one moment.